Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you all are well. It has been a minute since I streamed. That is very true. And it's been a hot minute since I've done the podcast. So I'm super excited to finally be able to bring another episode to you guys. I've been thinking about getting back into the podcasting anyway, because, again, it's been a while. And today we are going to be talking about music with none other than Ash, aka AshenedHeart. I'm really excited to be able to talk about this, especially with him, because he does music on the side. So, without further ado, we're gonna pop into it. So, welcome in. How you doing?
I still have Parmesan on my feet.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
So, I don't know.
You can't really make music without Parmesan on your feet.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Good to know that you're not totally sure about that.
No.
So, do you want to maybe tell you a little about yourself? Just kind of...
Sure.
Yeah.
So, hi, my name is Ash, and I'm an alcoholic. No.
Not the
No.
podcast for that.
Oh, shit. I missed the memo. Oh, God, this shit was court-ordered and everything. No. I'm gonna lose my alcoholic license. No. Name's Ash. I'm X years old.
All right.
And yeah, no. I'm an anonymous musician online. Identity I keep secret, but I'm a musician. I've been doing music for 4 years, releasing, at least recently, but for about over a decade I've been doing music. But overall though, more like releasing it on, say, like SoundCloud and stuff like that, and then now Spotify, iTunes, stuff like that. I've been putting it out for 3-4 years.
Sweet. Hi, James.
Yeah.
Welcome in. I thought this would be when you had suggested, because I know you already knew that I did the Ace from Space podcast. It's been a while since I did. When you had suggested doing an episode, I was like, that's perfect, because something that I've wanted to talk about, not for a while, but just in general, is music, because one of the biggest things for me in my day-to-day life is just music. There's a reason that my Spotify Wrapped is like over 60,000 hours or 60,000 minutes listened, or whatever, however they measure that. There's a reason why mine is extremely high, and I'm in the top like 30% of listeners worldwide.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I don't like to be alone with my thoughts.
That is a lot. Well, I mean, that's just people in general. Like, the one thing that's always fascinating me about music is everybody listens to music. Like, music is much like breathing to us, because it's just become so ingrained in our culture and humanity as a whole that music has just been a thing that's just been around since humans fucking learned how to actually, beat a drum or fucking start chirping a tune.
And I'm sure there's inspiration there is inspiration from everywhere, really. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure like the birds chirping even have inspired people from, centuries and eons ago.
Yeah, I mean, like, for recent example, it was raining over here in California, beginning of this year, or maybe even late last year, and it was pouring a lot. And hearing the rain hit this, not a gutter, or something like that, but basically the thing that filters the water out from the roof. Hearing that, it gave me an idea for something. I ended up forgetting it almost immediately afterwards, because this is before I had gotten together the band or anything like that, and it was when I was taking a little break from music.
Mhm.
But um, the smallest things can lead to a whole song. Like, take for example, like you've seen those YouTube videos of that guy who uses like industrial machines and ends up making a whole song out of them.
I'm pretty sure I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the people it's like it's the same thing with humans of like how we'll see faces in inanimate objects or things that aren't actually alive. We'll associate a face or a personality onto things. Much like that, we'll end up associating like music to things that originally really don't have anything to do with music. It's just it makes that click in our brain sometimes. And
Right.
it's like the smallest thing could lead just to a whole song. One stroke of like you could actually put your fingers on a piano, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I actually really liked how that sounded."
Right. And you were just saying about a band. How's that?
It's
Well,
good. It is good. Well, it's all
besides
right.
what we know, what we want to put
Yeah.
out there, let's say.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could say safely that we are still in the market for a guitarist.
Mhm.
We have a drummer, we have a bassist, we have someone who I want to teach how to produce because I know how to produce, I know how to play uh piano, I know how to play guitar, and I do vocals,
Mhm.
but I can't do all of that by myself.
Right.
And I could, but like on stage, that's gonna kind of look a bit weird.
Yeah,
But
I'd agree with that.
and so we had a guitarist, but the guitarist is no longer there.
Mhm.
So now we are basically it's me and the other guitarist kind of making up for it. The bassist has been busy. So basically it's just me and the guitarist right now,
Right.
who's also the drummer. Yeah. But originally drummer, now guitarist too. But it's going. We come up with stuff all the time. We work on new things all the time. It's people tend to think that songs are like a oh it should be done in like a day. No, this is a thing that takes like weeks, months even, and could even like an album could take years.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you don't have like the reason why big name artists are able to push out albums like every year is because they have people doing the production for them. They have like the time and the money to dedicate to just going in the booth and working on a song and then taking the time out to uh work on refining it. That's a whole process. Like learning production really did open my eyes to uh, the song making process because it's a long process to just make it sound even listenable.
Right. And it's interesting, you've already touched on some of the points that I have written down for today.
Uh,
So while we're on the topic of creating music,
mhm.
what is your motivation and inspiration for creating music?
Well, let me think. My motivation is, to put it quite simply, I want to make music that people can listen to when they're happy, when they're sad, and anytime in between, something that people can relate to at any time in their life and they can look back on it and they can remember it. And I want it to be something that can also bring people together.
Right.
I want it to be something that people will constantly want to come back and listen to because that's what music should be like. Like I know a lot of people will give shit to like Taylor Swift or any pop star, any of them, but they're doing what music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that you want to listen to. It may be something or something that at least that stays in your head. if a song can stay in your head, like even if you're at first thinking like, oh, that's really bad, if it's catchy, it did its job.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to stick with you, even if it's a slight negative. Like, uh, there was this band a while back. I don't know if they're still together or not, but it's called Blood on the Dance Floor. I did not like that band at all. I didn't like their music at all. But I gave them that. Their songs were, they'd get stuck in your head, and that's not always a great thing, but they're doing their job.
Yeah.
Music is supposed to get stuck in you. You're supposed to be able to feel it. You're supposed to be able to it's supposed to be something that can relate and express you. You get me?
Yeah, it's supposed to be something that you can, that when you are looking for something, when you feel a certain emotion, it can be that release of that emotion, that you can feel that that's like, yeah, that gives me this feeling, or that is relatable, whether it's lyrics or if it's a feel of a song or the beat, something will catch you and keep you hooked.
Exactly. And it's also a connection between the artist and the listener.
Mm-hmm.
When people play my music, I want them to like at least understand what I was feeling when I came up with the song and when I was working on it. I want them to understand that feeling of like of loneliness or of just absolute what's the word for it? I'd say not depression, not defeat, but despair maybe, and then that uplifting sense of like, you know, maybe things might end up actually getting better, because that's what I want. That's what I try to put out with my music, and you can even see it with the music I have put out. It's not always the same genre. It's not always the same thing. Like, yeah, there's sometimes some notes that will help call back to another song, but a good amount of it is stuff that's, I don't want to be subjected to one genre, because I feel like one genre can't just emulate the entire human emotion.
Yeah, it can't encapsulate everything that you want, that you are experiencing. Like, yeah, there's certain songs or certain genres that, you know, when you listen to it, yeah, it can give you multiple emotions in just even one single album. There's different swings that you can, different extremes you can go to in a single album, but no one genre is going to do that. That's why there's so many people out there and so many songs and things like that, and people that want to create that.
And that's why you have, like, it's one of the things that really does make me so happy living in the time that we do when it comes to music, because you have people that like I'll like reach from different groups, like Bob Marley. Bob Marley came from nothing and became a legend. You just have to listen to his music and you're thinking like, and it's reggae, but you don't think it's reggae. You think that's Bob Marley. You think that's his music. That's his own thing. You have Foo Fighters. You have Queens of the Stone Age. You have System of a Down. You have all these musicians that just started from just really small bits, and they ended up coming out into their own. And even like other sort of artists, like Post Malone. I'll hand it to like
Hey Johnny, can you do me a favor?
hang on, what's up?
Can you take the lid off the non-litter box and put it in the kitchen?
Sure. Wonderful thing of having cats. That's another thing I noticed. A lot of musicians tend to have cats.
Yeah, I mean, they're also easier maintenance than dogs.
No, they're not. Don't you dare lie to me.
Look, I've
Not
had
easier.
both. I've had both.
You're mean and they deprive you of love and affection.
No. No one gets that in this stream. Unfortunately, it's just us. No one understands.
That is a thing. That's just because we've hung out enough that it's just a
Anytime anyone goes, no, it's no.
No, no, no. And it just evolves and just weird walrus. That was just a fucking elephant vomiting. That's just an elephant vomiting. That wasn't even like a walrus. That wasn't you know what that was? That was that video of the seal that's like making all the silly voices or the silly faces.
Oh my god.
And then the trainer goes, speak, and it just goes, oh.
But it's accurate to me. It's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's
It's
funny.
either that or tea kettle.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Or Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift like the other night.
Oh my god.
Don't you know?
That killed me. That absolutely killed me. That was so funny. Oh my gosh.
But
yeah.
It's like you have all these names of people that like Young Gravy, Baby No Money. You have people that literally just threw their music on the internet, and not even just them. You have artists like the people who worked on the music for Devil May Cry 5. You have people who are working on music even in movies and things like that. We live in an age where people just need a computer and they can make a whole career.
Yep. I mean, the same kind of goes with streaming when you think about it. Streaming, posting on YouTube, playing games, things like that. That's also the same. Sometimes all you need is an internet connection and a computer. And you can create something wonderful.
It's a matter of, though, the people who can maintain it and can have the dedication for it. Like,
yep.
I have a pretty damn good following in, I think it was like Argentina and, oh god, I think like Iceland, maybe?
Oh wow.
I can't remember. But, I think also maybe Czechoslovakia, maybe? I don't remember. But, like, these countries, like, at first, I didn't really get much listeners on SoundCloud, because that's SoundCloud for you.
Yeah.
And then when I started releasing them with the label I have been, and it's a self-releasing one where, like, they'll release it for you. I'm hoping to get onto another label soon. For me and the band, so that we can more easily do our own stuff and put in more time and effort into it. But since doing that, it's reached out to a lot more places. Like, I'm actually seeing like what is it? Like, I'm seeing people from like Japan and Korea and Vietnam, like different countries, like that I never thought I would have reached. Like, it reached them, and it's amazing seeing that, because I just like I never thought my music would have reached them. I thought it would have just stayed in Cali. Right,
you didn't think it could go anywhere, but it's amazing what the internet can do. You know? Also, hi Seal, it's been a long time. How are you? Well, not really a long time, but how have you been? You've got a class in hours, so okay. It was nice of you to stop by. So how did you get started creating music?
When I got started, so I'll go back, like, even as far back as when I was like first involved with music, and it started with my dad playing his acoustic guitar, and I immediately fell in love with guitar. So much so, and also Red Hot Chili Peppers and Eagles and just a bunch of those kind of bands. And my parents ended up getting me this red electric guitar that was for a kid.
Right.
I would play that thing all the time. And then my grandmother ended up getting me an acoustic guitar, and I got into music very heavily. But then I started like dumping more time into video games, stuff like that. I ended up falling out of it. But then I discovered on like, I had this shitty laptop. It was an actual shitty laptop, okay? And this was like early 2010s kind of laptop that a kid would get. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, ugh.
Awful.
So, yeah, like I barely was able to play World of Warcraft on this thing. Barely.
Jesus.
Yeah. And like crappiest graphic settings and stuff like that. And I kept getting viruses on this thing too. And I discovered that there was an online thing to make music with. Now, the first stuff I put out, it sounded like hot garbage. Hot garbage. I unlisted that. I think I even deleted those videos. I deleted the music because I was like, this should never see the light of day. It was that bad. I think I used a dubstep one and then yeah, exactly. And then an electronic music one. And I was like, this can never see the light of day.
I mean, we do all have to start somewhere.
That is true. And then finally it was like back in, I'd say like 2019. I was on my laptop one day and I saw that FL Studio had a free trial to it, I guess you could say. And I recommend anybody, at least if a program that you're remotely interested has a free trial, give it a try. Just at least give it a try. Because trying out FL Studio, I immediately fell in love with it. Immediately did. Because I love the feel of it. I love the stuff it came with. And when I had enough money, I had purchased the producer bundle. So I got some like kits, some stuff to use. But this was a bit into my music making. This is where I can kind of like admit a thing, and I don't recommend this for anybody who starts out because it kind of does put a bit of pressure on you, and you can make mistakes easily.
Right.
A lot of my original music, what I did was I made it using FL Studio's free edition. And if you don't know what the free trial thing does for it, you can use all this stuff that it gives you. You can save your work, you can export your work, you can add clips and stuff. There's everything you can do in it, like as if it's the full edition. The only thing, you cannot reopen a project after you save it and close it. After you close the program, yeah, you cannot reopen it. So whatever you're working on, it's either you're done in one go or you save it to a point that you're happy with and you put it on the shelf until you're ready to purchase.
Wow.
That's not bad though.
It's not bad, but still.
But
like the
there's
feature, there is.
Yeah. Close the laptop. don't turn off the computer. That's it.
I mean, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
That's what I did. I would work on songs for days on end, just leaving the program open, and I was constantly biting my fingers off, just worried that it was gonna crash after like days worth of work. And I was like, please, God, today, do not let it crash. Don't let the computer die. Just give me a bit longer. Every time I managed to, there's a few times the hard drive would corrupt and I would lose like all the stuff. But eventually I managed to make a good amount of stuff and I ended up buying the full edition. And that's where we are now, where I have not the most expensive one, but I have a good one where I'm happy where I'm at. I have kits and stuff I've bought from other producers online because they have some sounds and they have some tools and stuff that they use that I like implementing into my music. I may not use them all the time, but it can give me an idea for a sound I want, and then I could work on that myself.
Right, it's like a base.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always good.
That's kind of where most musicians start. Like, do you listen to Joji by any chance?
I don't, but I've heard a lot about him.
Mm-hmm. When he was first starting out, it was before he was known as Joji. I think even before he was known as Filthy Frank. He was working on stuff using GarageBand. That's the Apple version of like Apple Studio. That's what it uses for music. And he
Okay.
was using that, and a lot of it is really just messing around with it. It's like when you're first learning to draw. You're just gonna get a piece of paper, you're gonna get a pencil, you're just gonna scribble some crap on a piece of paper, but scribble enough and you end up having like a really beautiful picture.
Right, and then you learn and you grow as time goes on. Always. I know, like, it's easy to compare the two because they are both a form of art. They're both a form of artwork because a lot of time patience, creativity, and skill go into it. And you can't learn if you don't do it. That's how I always feel, is you're not going to learn anything if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Which is why art can be hard sometimes and why I take breaks from it, is because I know I need to come back and do it, but I cannot do it right now because I will implode.
If you art, like, creativity is much like a muscle. If you overwork it too much, you're gonna end up damaging it.
Yep.
Because when, and this is the thing I've even noticed in the music world and in like streaming or music or YouTube or a lot of things, you're seeing a lot of people that just put their nose to the grindstone so much and so hard that they're burning out. You're seeing like musicians leave the game because of how, well, not just because of how much they've just burned out on it, but also because of fan reactions to it. If you don't take that time away from it, the things people might say, the things people might do might start getting to you. Like, I was so deeply entrenched into music and into practicing my vocals, working on producing new stuff and all of this, that a close friend at the time had said something about my singing, and he ended up not being a close friend, but somebody whose opinion on music I really shouldn't have cared of, whose opinion on my voice I really shouldn't have cared of, it affected me so much that just now I'm starting to be able to sing in front of others. I'm just now being able to record vocals. Like, it was what was it? The song I released, which was a cover of Daft Punk's Something About Us. That was difficult to do because of how letting, like, those little things that people say and just burning yourself out on your passion, it'll end up just affecting your future work. If you keep drawing and working on the same thing over and over and over, or you just keep on working on stuff that you're like, I don't want to work on it right now, I'd rather just go enjoy time with my friends, or go out, or just even just enjoy the night in and just turn my brain off and just read a book or just go to sleep.
Yep.
If you don't take the time to do that, you're not, like, creativity is something you can be born with and just be so talented in, but if you don't take the time to just relax your brain, it's gonna be harder to get back into that.
Yep. That's why taking breaks is so important, even though, you know, I'm sure that we're not the only ones that struggle to take time away. I mean, I've been taking gosh, I've been doing so good. I've been doing so good. I've been not streaming as much, and I'd like to say that it's, you know, me, quote unquote, taking a break, but unfortunately not. It's that every time I go to stream, something comes up, whether it's something to do with my physical health or just something else is popping up. It's hard to stay on the grind and just stay there. It's hard to envision a future when you can't even see it next week. You gotta have some sort of faith in that it's gonna go better, you know?
Mhm. It's very much you have to play it by ear. A lot of the time, you have to play things by ear. It's like, take for example some bands this year. They had to cancel their tours, and why? Because some of them, like a drummer got sick, very sick, or a guitarist, or even the lead singer. If they get sick, you don't want them up on stage, because if you do, they're going to be sick, they're going to be miserable, it might kill it for them. It could also affect the performance as well.
Absolutely.
And it's the same with streaming. If you're sick or you're not in the right mind space for it, you're not going to be able to put out something as entertaining or as engaging as it might normally be.
Yeah, you can feel the vibe. The vibe. Yes. The vibe. The vibe that you bring is going to affect the vibe that everyone else has.
Exactly.
You got to have the right mindset in order to do those sort of things.
Yeah.
So then, where do you see the future of creating your music? What do you see for that?
I see within probably the next couple of years, maybe doing a bit of touring around Los Angeles. Definitely going to, the band is going to pick up. We're going to be releasing music. We haven't finished, we're trying to work on an album that will be kind of the inspiration for our first release. But the thing with that is that's time we have to take, and that's another part of this whole thing is we have jobs. We have jobs besides this, and we want this to become our job. We want this to become something that we can do so that we can constantly make sure we're putting out the best stuff.
Right.
But we all have jobs. I have a job that's overnight. The drummer has a job that is during the day, and then he has a what is it called? A internship that he's also doing. The bassist, he just recently started a whole new job, and that's during the day, and I barely have gotten to see him recently or even talk to him.
Right.
But if push comes to shove, that's why I'm also still doing my solo stuff. Because my solo stuff, yeah, it takes a while because it's me not only trying to balance work, being a father, but then also the music that I make with the band, but then also my own stuff. Balancing all of that, it's going to cause delays on stuff. And up till now, a lot of the delays, it was either life altering things, or at the start when I was just starting to really pick up, COVID hit. And I had to heavily dedicate myself to my job and stuff like that because I was deemed an essential worker.
Right.
And so I had to deal with that.
I know. I was also deemed an essential worker. It was,
and that was
not
bullshit.
fun.
Did you get hazard pay?
I don't remember now, but
I didn't.
Considering I'm a grocery store worker, probably not.
I work security. That shit didn't pay me shit for hazard pay. And I had a bunch of motherfuckers coming in who were having COVID, and they just were like all over everything.
Ugh.
And they didn't tell us until we got in.
I
found out 5 days in a row that people got sent home because of COVID. And I was like, whoa, why didn't you tell me before I got here.
Right? Ugh, that's gross. So you were talking about the like touring thing. That actually answers one of the topics that I have, which is live playing and the interest that you have in that. Have you done any live shows before, or done anything out in the public? Maybe not necessarily a show, but like gone and shown your skills at an open mic or anything like that?
I have by myself. And
Okay.
this is actually the first time I think you'll be finding this out. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people will. There's a lot of times like I won't be on at night and people won't see me on like on the days that I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those nights it is because I'm going to places and I am doing it. I'm singing, I'm up there singing, or I'm if they have a guitar, I'll try to play the guitar.
Okay.
But I do that on my own as a way because this is the one thing I really enjoy about being an anonymous musician is I can go do that in my normal everyday clothes and nobody will say a thing or do a thing. When I do start doing live shows, I have a whole outfit in mind, a helmet and all that stuff. I still have to build the helmet.
Mm.
I have to find somebody to help me build it or even like just to pay to build it. But it's gonna be something kind of like, because you know how like Daft Punk, Dead Mouse, Marshmallow, a lot of these musicians, and like Slipknot, even a lot of these musicians would hide their faces. For me, it is not just a gimmick; it is also a way for me to keep my privacy because I very much prefer my privacy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm an anonymous face, voice, whatever you might call it. Because like, I don't show my face. I don't really plan on showing my face, and that's just for myself. I don't like the idea of straight up putting my face out there. You know, I don't like that idea, especially when you just have no idea.
Especially because like, and for me, where it comes from, for me, I grew up in the age of paparazzi. Yes, I grew up in the 2000, like I remember like being like 10 in like the 2000s, and then like being like in my teenage years in the 2010s, and I remember seeing like the paparazzi just actually harass celebrities, musicians, all these artists and people, and I was like, and it made me sick because I was like, these are just people. Can you just let them go about their day?
Like they're just trying to live their life.
Like,
and we still see that to this day.
It's still a thing, and it's not even just the paparazzi who do it. It's average, everyday people who do it.
In the age of social media, nothing is sacred anymore. You can't just go out on a walk or go to your favorite coffee shop. If you're someone that has any sort of power or status, someone is more than likely going to see you and post that they see you.
Like if I want to go out and have drinks with somebody, like when I blow up and I'm this big household name, I'm gonna have people like bugging me for I'm not gonna say bugging. Actually, I do take that one back. That's just wrong. It won't bug me if people are asking for autographs or photos or things like that. It is more of I'm going to have people coming up to me while I'm just trying to have a nice dinner with somebody, or I'm like out grocery shopping. It's like sometimes you gotta know when to pick and choose when you walk up to somebody. Like one thing I've done, and it's growing up here, anytime I've seen a celebrity, the most I would do is just, hey, I like your work, hope you have a great day.
Right.
You know what I mean? That means a lot to people. And I've had that
short, sweet, and simple.
I actually had somebody recognize me from my music. Wasn't in person. It was while just playing something. They recognized my name. They said, "Oh my God, wait, hang on, are you this person?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm this person." And they were like, "I love your music. I love I missed when you streamed. Like, I missed the stuff." And I was like, "Oh shit, thank you. It's really cool to know that there's like a fan out there."
Right.
that means a lot. And even just the normal interactions too. Like, they can mean a lot, but at the same time, people tend to forget because they build these parasocial relationships. That's still a person, you know?
Yeah, that's
Like,
still someone that's living and having their own life.
yeah, it's like if they walk into a public restroom at like a 7-Eleven, I don't think they want to have a picture of them taken and post it online and say, yo, Bingus Malingus just went and used the shitter at 7-Eleven. Dookie Pookie. It's like, no,
Like,
come on.
no.
Stop.
Like, let
Please
them live
don't.
their life. They're a human, just like we are.
Yeah, let the man go and just buy his Slurpee at 7-Eleven and get his nasty ass fucking 7-Eleven like hot dog. Don't you dare tell me that shit ain't nasty. It may taste good.
I haven't
That's
tried
it.
one, to be honest with you.
They taste good, but I don't know. They are a bit of Russian roulette. Either you will get a goodie, or you will. Majority of the ones I've been to, I've had good ones. But I just heard from like some people that it's like, yeah, no, dude, I like, it was like somebody opened up Hoover Dam, and I was like, whoa.
Awful.
Yeah, and I'm just like, whew. But
Touched a bullet with that one.
yeah, I'm just like, let the man open his Hoover Dam in privacy. Like, at least just be like, hey, I love your stuff, man. Look out. That thing's absolutely going to make you shit yourself. Because I ordered a hot dog from this place the other day, and I cried myself to sleep on the toilet. That is something that I think they might appreciate. Because then not only are you showing love for their music, you're also just trying to look out for them, you know?
Right, you're treating them more like a human being than just someone that is famous, you know?
Yeah, it instead of just, oh, this is my source of entertainment, it's you recognize, oh yeah,
The
this is a
person behind it.
Yeah, this is the person behind it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you did mention earlier about playing instrument. Well, you know, I guess instead of it just being kind of like an interview, I guess maybe I'll talk a little bit about my stuff too.
Yeah.
So I don't create music. I've only used an like a creative music creator, whatever I don't even know. My brain is like frazzled. I only used to use that in like high school. Or no, not even high school. It was like middle school, I would say.
Yeah, most people mess with that stuff around that time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like getting MS Paint. You're obviously gonna go with it.
Yeah, and you're just gonna play around with it. So my talents don't really lie in like the creation part of it. Okay, my music is suddenly loud. I've been toggling it back and forth.
No worries. Also, apologies if you hear noise. That is me adjusting my microphone stand. So in that way, my mic is more closer to my face. And that way I don't have to talk as loudly.
There we go.
That way you get a bit more smoother. There you go.
That works. I'd say that...
Now it feels like I'm in prison and there's somebody like at waist height at my face.
Okay.
I feel like if I just remotely look them in the eyes, I'm immediately gonna become somebody's bitch, and there's nobody there. But it feels like it. It feels like I am in trouble. I feel like I am the drunk girl. I feel like I'm the drunk girl at a Ivy League frat party.
Oh God.
I am in trouble, and I'm gonna end up with something in my mouth by the end of the night.
All right.
And at this rate, it's gonna be my microphone.
Yeah, it seems like it. I'd hope that's what it is.
Well, I hope so too, because if it's not my microphone, it's
I have
gonna
concerns.
Be a hell of a night.
Yeah, I've got concerns if it's not your microphone.
Because I'm just gonna turn my head right and it's gonna.
I'm sure everyone will enjoy that ASMR.
Oh yeah. That's a good shot.
Oh my God. I'd say my music part more or less goes with singing and the like more of the vocal side of music. And
You've got an amazing singing voice.
I appreciate that.
Take the fucking compliment, or I swear to
I
God.
said I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. I can hear you in the back of your head going, no, no. I would have a good voice.
Oh my god.
Trying to be like fucking Palpatine over here after smoking 50 fucking black partons.
Anyways.
Yeah? You're trying to speak French right there?
I don't even know, man. Jesus. For me, it probably started all the way when I was like, I want to say 3 years old was how far back. So we're talking like 2002, 2003, something like that. My mom and my father, they had a trailer in a campground, and it was nice. The whole area was nice, and there were things to do, but they specifically were friends with this one cover band. And I'm pretty sure I've gone over this story on stream before, but for the podcast, I'll go over it again. So, of course, we would all go out and see them because, you know, they're not going to completely abandon that part of themselves. And I don't remember any of this because I was so young, but this story gets told to me pretty frequently. Where, what song was it? Drift Away. I was, again, like a little kid, and I was going up to the stage, and I was bouncing around, I was dancing, whatever, because I'm little, and apparently, I don't know if I got invited onto the stage, or if I just climbed up there on my own, but the lead singer, who is still the lead singer of the band, so we're talking more than 20 years later now, but anyways, he had the guitarist, the bassist, everyone soften their sound and had me sing it with them on the stage. And I was like 3 or 4. So of course we went and we would go see them. And then once I started getting older, we used to take this trip on a ferry, like up and down, not up and down the coast, but it would go between like the ending coast of one state to an upper coast of another state, and it would go like one direction and then back the other way. And the cover band would play on there. And there's just something they did. They did it like once a week or twice a week or however often they did it. Yeah. And that was like my birthday thing, is we would go onto this ferry and they would let me sing with them.
That's awesome.
For my birthday every year. And when we had to get rid of the trailer because we couldn't afford it anymore, that was like 2016 or 2017, something like that. That's probably one of the last times that I did do that, where I sang with them, until, I want to say it was 2021, maybe 22. We went down there again because it was my birthday, we wanted to do something, so we went. And they pulled me up, and I sang a different song. But it's something that I sing to myself all the time. That's just something that I do. I'm a very musically inclined person. Music is very personal to me. I that's, like I mentioned earlier, why my Spotify hour numbers are so high, because I can't listen to my own damn thoughts. But it's also because music is so ingrained in my everyday life. And I absolutely have my mom to thank for that, because she is as obsessed with music as I am. She goes and sees the cover bands. She goes and supports live music.
Hell yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Like, I used to go to, they call it day drinking. I used to go with her to like Wednesday night battle of pianos and like all sorts of things. I would go and see these live bands all the time with her. It's been such a staple in my life, my entire life. And that's why I have such a range of like genres and stuff that I'm interested in. I'm interested in basically everything except country music. simply because of my mom showing me like classic rock and regular rock, and I've gotten myself into pop and synthwave now with the Midnight, which is, excuse me, one of my favorites. I went and saw them in concert, and it was wonderful. But yeah, music is such a personal thing. I don't really share like my playlists or anything with anyone. So if I ever like to anyone go, hey, let's switch playlists, or like let's make playlists for each other, you must really mean a lot to me, because I don't do that with just anyone, because it's so ingrained in my day-to-day life that I can relate to so many songs, you know.
Yeah,
but since I
exactly
mentioned
what you mean.
genres, what type of music genres are you into?
Whoo! Okay. Damn. I'm having like the meat sweats right now. Shit. No, when it comes to genres, everything.
Yeah.
And that is not an exaggeration, everything. I do mostly listen to alternative, to rock, to metal, to hip hop, rap. There's a lot of things that I listen to most, but I do mean it when I say I listen to everything. I listen to everything because that's what I grew up on, much like yourself. Like, growing up on a couple things, it then introduced me to more, and just from there, it was just this spiral of all this music to a point where I just couldn't help it and just listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the bands that I do listen to, it's not even like there's a specific, like, what's the way to say it? It's not like I'll listen to every single thing from a band I really like. There's times where it's like I have songs from like My Chemical Romance. I'm just like, I don't really want to hear this song.
Yeah.
I don't really care for this song. There's plenty of things like that.
But then there's
And
others where it's all about it.
yeah, there's some where it's like I will listen to this until my fingers fall off of my face.
Right. Like, there's certain songs that just encapsulate a feeling, or they just tickle your brain in the right way, and it makes you want to grip onto it and never let go.
Exactly. Because that feeling it gives you, it's something that's cathartic. It's something that is... It's like a high that some people just really don't entirely get, is when you listen to a song that just... You can just close your eyes and just be.
Yep.
And
It just soothes a part of your soul.
Exactly. It speaks to a part of you that you didn't think was there, but lo and behold, whoo, what are you
absolutely
doing there?
Yeah. Like, I can say that there is one specific song for me that does practically that, and it's called Gloria by the Midnight, and it's essentially like I how to even describe it. I don't know if it's just because it's catchy, but that song has legitimately helped me get through tough ass shit. Like, it's basically like, I feel better. It's not necessarily the drugs I'm taking. It's not necessarily because it's not cloudy, raining, etc., you know, like seasonal. I just feel better. So it's about like getting better and feeling better.
That's what music should do.
Yeah, it should speak to a part of you and heal a part of you that you didn't even know was broken. It fills in a hole, a gap that you didn't know could be filled in such a way. You know? It's like a perfect puzzle piece just sliding into place.
Exactly.
And music that does that is just amazing. It makes you, like I said earlier, want to grip on and never let go. Absolutely.
100%.
So then another part that you had kind of touched on was instruments. So you were talking about the guitar, and you were talking about how you got started with that. So were there any other instruments that you played as a kid?
Oh, flutes.
Mm.
Then there was the ocarina. Like, for example, there was the oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Mexican flute though. It's like the one with like 2 rows of reeds for you to blow into. What else? It was mostly just been guitar. I mean, piano too, but mostly it is those. The one that I have always maintained is the one instrument I've actually always stayed on top of is my voice.
Of course. It stays with you forever. You gotta take care of it.
Yeah. And it's also not just that. It's also just, well, I can, like, I can mimic most, like, I can mimic sounds that I hear, and I can mimic tone and things like that to such an extent that it's my best instrument is my voice.
Right. That's fair.
And yeah. And so those are the only things that I do know so far. There's more I want to like learn, or at least just to implement into my music and also into the band's music.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was going next. Like, what instruments do you currently play, and what ones would you like to learn in the future?
Well, currently I know how to do piano. I know how to do, like I said, vocals. I know how to do guitar. I do want to learn bass. I would also like to learn. Currently, the one I really want to learn is drums, just because there's a few like. So like for the drummer / temporary guitarist, maybe even might end up being permanent guitarist if I can find somebody else to do drums. He has been doing some guitar riffs that I've been wanting to like really like. The most I can do is like, so one thing I do is when like I hear something, I'll do my best to try to like do the sound that I'm thinking of, like be it drums or guitar or things like that, and I'll do that with my bandmate just to try to like help describe the sound that I'm trying to get him to make.
Right.
It's a lot like what Michael Jackson did for the Thriller album and a bunch of other ones that just now people are hearing, of like how you like do the bass line and the drums and like everything. It would all be in his head, and he would do his best to have it come out, and it came out clear, like clear as day, and almost exactly how the song would end up.
Right.
And so
sometimes you just need to learn an instrument or something just in order to like get your vision out there.
exactly.
Because not everyone's going to be able to understand. Practically, maybe not even anyone could get that exact sound. You can describe it all you want, but because it's in your head, you're the one that's going to be able to create that, to put that out there. Sometimes it's a necessity to learn more.
And so it's why I tend to like, I want to pick up a drum kit so I can do that for him. So I like, because we live in the same not in the same area, not in the same city, but we live close enough to each other. Me and one of my bandmates are both in California. We're like in Los Angeles.
Right.
And so it's easy for us to see each other. It's easy for us to meet up for music and stuff like that. Our bassist, not around here. Our old guitarist was around here. That didn't work out though. And the bassist still out where he is.
Right.
So right now it's really just me and the drummer.
Mhm.
But it's still good because we both understand stuff we want, like the stuff we want to do. And I taught him a bit of how to do FL Studio. So he's kind of started figuring out how to do it on his own. He'll come to me with stuff he has. But if I can do the drums, it'll make it a little bit easier on him and it'll help us put out what we want to a little bit faster.
Yeah. So what sort of things are you like how I just had the question in my mind and it just left. It
What
was
kind of,
something
like,
to do with the
music we're gonna be putting out?
band. Well, not quite. I can't remember exactly what my question was. Damn. I just had it on the tip of my tongue too.
No worries. I have that happen sometimes too. I mean, I could tell you like kind of the kind of stuff we're trying to do.
Mhm.
It's so we're right now we're trying to do that. Oh my god, what is it called? Like System of a Down, Slipknot, Slayer, like that kind of music right now is the kind of stuff we're trying to do.
So kind of like metal-y-ish sort of
new
feel?
metal. New
Yeah,
metal. That's
yeah.
what it's called. We're doing new metal at the
Okay.
moment. And the next thing that the guitarist wanted us to do was Queens of the Stone Age kind of music. But me and since he's not there anymore, we might do it, we might not. But me and the drummer at the very least, we want to do something. Like we're gonna basically just do whatever comes to mind, and we'll probably just get a dartboard and chuck some darts at it and whatever it lands on is what we decide to do that time. It's very much like I said earlier, we tend to just play it by ear
Mhm.
because we can't be certain of what leads to tomorrow. Like for example, tomorrow I could end up dying, and then the drummer's left basically on his own to continue on, and it's up to him on what to do from there. We may have the plans to do certain music, but if it ends up just being me, I want him to be able to do it and continue on his own if he needs to. You get me?
Yeah. Like, you
And
don't
that's
want it
very
to be just exactly you. You want them to also have their own input into
Yeah,
what's
I
getting
want
put out there.
the band to have autonomy within itself. I want it to be like, and it's why we have our own symbols to represent each of us, and like, and I designed the symbols for us,
Mhm.
and it's very much things that like we haven't put out music yet, but I'm already like working on merchandise and stuff like that for it.
It's always good to get a
But-
head start.
Yeah, and it's stuff that's like, if you really enjoy, like, say, the drummer's ability, you can get something that's like, hey, it's like his thing. You know what I mean? Like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like drumsticks that has his symbol on it, or like and like even like a shirt with all of the symbols together.
Yeah.
Like it's all stuff that, and it all has meaning to it too. And it's meaning that if we want to reveal it, it would be up to the band member themselves, because they're tailor-made to each band member, and it's something that resonates with us.
Right.
It's wording, like it represents words and things and feelings and objects that are us.
Right.
And with that, it's I like that kind of autonomy. I very much want and I value in bands, because then it's like I love bands where like the vocalist and the guitarist might be off doing their own thing, like their side thing. The drummers like doing like little things for like schools and stuff where he goes and he teaches the students like how to do drums.
Mhm.
Like stuff like that. I like when bands have their own thing and it's not just the band all together all at the same time. It's like no, they got to be able to do their own things.
Yeah. It's nice to have that sort of, like you said, like autonomy. It's nice to have that option to not, I don't want to put it this way of saying tethered to the band, but there are certain people that do end up being tethered to their band or their group or what have you, simply because there is no autonomy. Like, you look at them or you hear their name and that is the only thing you associate with them. But they're human beings. They're so much more. They're worth more. They, they can do their own thing. And that's what you're trying to get at. You're trying to give them that option to have that autonomy to go and do things and make a name for themselves within the band as well.
Yeah. And that way then also if say, and this was a thing I very much maintained at the very beginning too, is if say things don't end up working out with the band some point down the line, I want it to be that eventually we can go off and do our own thing and people will still be able to be like, hey, yeah, this is AshenedHeart from like, and he does his own music, but he was also a part of so and so band. I'm not yet ready to reveal the name yet. It is a thing that I am kind of keeping on wraps until I can at least like create the social media page and finish up at least until we can get the at least a single out or something,
Yeah.
to reveal the name. But it's something that people can go back on and that also we can look back on, because it's like one of our big influences is like System of a Down. And like Surge has gone and also Darren and all of them have gone off and done their own things, but they're still able to come together to make System.
Right.
Like and when they come together, it is this phenomenal like shake you to your core kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I want that for the band in case like say things don't like say we end up deciding like to go our own ways and to go and be like, okay, well, I want to go do my own thing for this amount of time, and then this person also wants to go do their own thing, and maybe this guy wants to go and work on a few things with this other guy. We'll be able to do that.
Right.
I want that to be able, and when we want to, we can come back and do it. But I want it to be that we're together.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, we might need to replace a bandmate or something like that. But I want it to be that ultimately it was us.
Right. Kind of like, seeing them in the future, if it happens that it gets separated, they can still look back and be like, I was part of that. It's something that you want them to feel proud about. Exactly. Being a part of. That you want them to feel good for.
Exactly.
Because that can be hard in itself. To look back on things that you've done and trying to decide if that's something you're proud of or not. You don't want that to be a decision. You want that to be they felt good about it.
I want it to be that when we all look back on it, we can look back on it proudly and fondly. Like, yeah, there's gonna be obviously some like rough patches and stuff, but I want it to be ultimately a good memory. I want it to be something also that we can still be able to separate ourselves from. Say like a drummer wants to go into acting. Just saying, like if he does, he'll be able to. That the past of the band is still there, but I don't want it to like completely define him or define the rest of us.
Right. I can think of a good example. Well, I don't even know if it's that way. I think it's technically the other way around. But and I keep going back to the Midnight just because they are probably one of my favorite bands right now. But I believe it's their guitarist. She does guitar and a little bit of keyboard. She was originally from Jupiter Winter, I believe, is the not necessarily band, but group that she was a part of. And I think she still is a part of. But she is also a part of the Midnight. And like I said, she was their guitarist. And it was, that's another thing, another point about bands and each of them having their own individual identity is it was inspiring to look on that stage, for me as a woman, to look up on that stage and see a female guitarist in a skirt, in a tank top, and she just, it looked badass. Because you don't often see women guitarists. It's not common. So to see something like that is inspiring, and also to note that the Midnight is not her only thing, that she also does something else with another group, music-wise. It's good to have that sort of distinction, autonomy, where you can go do those other things and be recognized for both, and to also be an inspiration to others. And just in general, that band is just a thrown together mix of people. It started with the main vocalist, Tyler, and the one that does a lot of the synth. I forget his name. I want to say it's Rhett, I think is his name. It started with the two of them. And they brought in the bassist. And then they brought in their saxophone guy, who is incredible, by the way. He is amazing. They just found him in the studio one day. He was going to do something else. And they asked if he wanted to join, and he agreed. So it's nice to have that background of other things, because what if they decide to go to another band or, take a step up, do something more? They have that background to tell others, like, hey, I've done this before. I can do this. Let me contribute if you'll have me. It's good to have that sort of background for reasons like those. To be able to, give that to another group who might need it. That sort of thing. Like, having that sort of background is always great. Oh, I have the hiccups.
Nice.
But yeah, no, music is just absolutely incredible, and the way that it's a universal language in a way, and an unspoken expression of emotion. Yeah. I was thinking of a better way to put that. I couldn't. It's that, like, here's a piece of my soul.
Yeah.
Hi,
because ultimately
Des.
that is what...
Sorry.
Hello. That is ultimately what music is. It is a part of your soul. It's a part of the musician's soul, and it's something that can resonate with you.
Exactly. It's something that they feel, and they want to show that to the world. So when they get that opportunity, of course you're going to take it. If you feel so inclined, if you feel so comfortable, then you're going to want to put that emotion out, if you can. I think one of the things I was going to ask that I had forgotten, was, do you see yourself only touring around LA, or would you like to eventually go across the US with it.
Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
305. You didn't see it, but I did a face like as if I just had a stroke.
Oh my god.
'Cause that's what it felt like saying that.
Yeah, that wasn't, yeah.
Just a 305.
Yep. Accurate.
Accurate.
Accurate. Music isn't even just like, it's amazing to see just how ingrained music is in the world in general. We were talking about this in the beginning, but it really is part of our day-to-day life, because you go into any store pretty much, they're gonna have music playing. It's just a background. It's a background to keep you going that you don't even think about. You go into your car and you turn on the radio, there's usually going to be music unless it's an ad or a talk radio. Like, music is everywhere, and you know, even just plainly create. What is on my monitor? What is that? Oh, okay. Sorry, something was on my monitor. It's something that you don't really think about until you start. James, he just said, you could even say, it's Among Us.
Among Us.
God. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But it really is ingrained in the day-to-day life of basic human beings. Like, there's very few places that you'll go that are not playing music. Music is another form of expression, just as art is, just as poetry is, writing songs. I think that's another thing I was going to ask is, have you written songs or song lyrics before?
Mm-hmm. Since like middle school even, I have actually done that.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry, the Among Us is still playing in my head. Ding, 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 ding.
Of course.
But I've been doing lyrics since middle school. Just I don't really like showing them to people. It's just because it's a thing that
It's private.
yeah, you get me?
Yeah, like I was saying, like it's a piece of your soul.
Exactly.
that you're putting
and it's
out.
something that if I was ready to do it, I'll do it.
Mhm.
But at this current moment, maybe not. Just
Yeah.
yet.
No, that's fair. I think I wrote a song once, and sometimes I'll create little like snippets of poetry. But I've never, well, like I said, I did make one like full on song. But that's always something that's kind of fascinated me in a way.
Mhm.
Being able to kind of bend and warp words and melodies to really express that one feeling that you have. Because just saying it out loud can sometimes either not be enough, it could be too stressful, anything like that. But putting it to a tune and making it rhyme and using similes and metaphors and all of that kind of stuff, it can convey something deep within you that you didn't think that you could do. And it's beautiful when someone can create something like that. Something so amazing that you're like, wow, I feel just how they felt when they made or sang or whatever this song or this audio or what have you. It's amazing just what the human mind can create, because that's truly just incredible, you know?
Yeah.
The mind is amazing.
It can be.
Well, yes, can be.
Also, absolutely be an awful thing.
Oh my lord.
I mean, you remember that one song from a while back that a dude kept playing while he was having sex with his girlfriend?
Oh my god. I haven't thought about that in so long. Oh, jeez. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh my gosh. Is there anything that you would like to talk about when it comes to, like, music?
No, I'm just kidding. No. In
No.
fact, I am instead going to quit music and cry.
Oh my god.
I'm so unprepared.
To be fair, I didn't really say I was gonna ask you anything. But I guess, is there any genre that you're really excited to create a piece of music in, or for, or however that works? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I got you. Don't worry. I would say definitely new metal. I want to add on to rock, and then there's a couple genres that I'm very excited to throw my hat into, because so far the genres I have been in, they've not been in rock, at least that I've released. But I'm looking forward to the things that are in the near future when it comes to the band, when it comes to my solo work. And I mean, like, the things are still even happening. I just put out a song not that long ago that I had worked on for a game a friend had worked on. So it's very much, there's stuff still being put out, there's stuff still out there. It is very I almost said very much again. It's a thing I'm just looking forward to.
Right. And that's the beauty of music, and the good in music is, you know, that you're doing something like that satisfies you, and it's a desire to create and share that with others. It's always a good feeling to put it out there and to have others enjoy what you're putting out there.
Exactly.
It's
Because
satisfying.
Seeing people enjoying it, listening to it, and things like that. Like, I've actually had a friend not that long ago tell me, yeah, no, I listen to your music and I actually really like listening. I was like, oh my god, stop. You're gonna make me, like, kiss you on your hot mouth. And yeah, and then we kissed and I got him pregnant. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, he's boy pregnant now.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just kidding. He's pregussy.
Oh God.
I hope that hurt. I hope that one hurt.
Jesus.
I had to slip something in there. I had to slip an ussy in there somewhere. I hope it hurts. Hey, at least I didn't bring up Garfussy.
Oh my god, you just did.
Oh, oops. Oh, the scandal.
Oh my god.
Garfield, we shouldn't.
No, I don't want to think about that again.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I think I've covered most everything that I want to talk about. I guess maybe what's your favorite artist right now, or your favorite song?
Fuck. Actually, you know what? I could even bring that up. So, currently, I would say favorite artists. Let me look at let me look at the playlist thingy that so I use Apple Music
Okay.
and Spotify, but I use Apple Music more because of iPhone. The very top song right now for me on Apple is Chop Suey by System of a Down. Yep.
Nice.
And Sugar by System of a Down, then Toxicity by System of a Down. And after that is Everlong by Foo Fighters.
Okay.
If I had to say, there's a few bands I would say that this year very much were my favorites. And that'd be System of a Down, Foo Fighters. The Story So Far, phenomenal band.
Okay.
Get a chance, give them a listen. Nothing More, amazing band as well. Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
And another one I've been recommending people to listen to is this band called Blighttown. I think they just released a new album. Let me check. I could have swore they did. No, it's still the It Lives EP. But their bassist actually follows me on Instagram.
Oh,
And I very much, yeah, I love their music.
awesome.
And I love the work that the bassist did. I love the work that all of it, all of that stuff. It was all really good.
Good.
And I really liked Algorithm and oh my god, how am I forgetting? I feel like such a fool. Hawaii 6-0. Those are two of my favorite songs off of that album.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, or EP, sorry.
I'd say my top I can actually pull it up for Spotify. My top Okay. My top
That's just me
bands...
like running up behind you, looking over your shoulder.
I can say that my top artist this year, number one, not surprisingly, was The Midnight. Considering I listened to their shit on repeat. Like, repeat. Hi, Hertz! How are you doing? We're actually winding down. No audio because I don't have my headphones. Ah, I see.
Here, I'll wave. There we go. I say hi.
And thank you for the honk, James. The Midnight, which I was just saying. Gorilla. That wasn't number two. Number two was Melanie Martinez because she came out with a new album this year and it slaps.
Nice.
Then it was Gorillaz. And then it was... Oh, who was it? Who was my number 4? I can't remember now. I can't remember what my number 4 was, but number 5 was the account that posts all the Genshin music. So that's fun.
Nice.
But it's because a lot of their stuff is like, it's DMCA free, first of all. Secondly, it's just nice and calm because it's just for the most part just peaceful music that you can just sit there.
Did you listen to the new Cracker Island? Or well, it's not new, but you know what I mean. You listen to
I
Cracker
love
Island?
Cracker Island. That's my favorite song off of it.
Such a good one. That one and Silent Running. I love Silent Running.
I like oh gosh, what's the other one? New Gold.
Ooh, New Gold is so good.
It really is.
I also liked I gave Song Machine another listen to because I liked Song Machine, but not all of it. But I was like, let me give it another listen. I listened to it again, and Silent Chord. Oh my god!
I'll say that. So my top 10 songs this year were "Lost Boy" by The Midnight, which I was very surprised that it was that song. I thought it would be a different one, but you know that's fine. The number 2 was When I'm Small by Fantagram. Number 3 was Gloria by The Midnight. Number 4 was Landlocked Heart by The Midnight, but that one's for a video game. So, and that one came out like middle of the year, I think. So I'm surprised it's number 4 on my list.
Yeah.
Los Angeles by The Midnight. And then Cracker Island is number 6. From Liquid by Mr. Kitty is number 7. Say My Name from the Beetlejuice Broadway show. Coffee by Early Eyes is 9, and number 10 is quite possibly the gayest song on this list for me, Until I Found You by Steven Sanchez. That's gonna be our song at the wedding, all right?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, when
And
that
it's very
wedding
sweet.
happened, that's gonna be your guys' wedding song. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be like you both dancing in your dresses to it, and then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be standing there like, so gay.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna be invited. You and Kiora.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Ooh, I'd recommend another artist. Give a listen to Groovy Kaiju. That's the dude whose album I bought, and I got the CD the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great one. I very much am happy with that purchase. Very good.
Awesome. All right. I don't know if there's anything else that we are gonna cover. I mean, is there anything you can think of?
So, Robin,
Mhm.
how do you peanut butter and jelly your sandwich, huh?
What?
How do you peanut butter and jelly your sandwich? Peanut butter first or jelly first?
Considering I don't
Take note,
eat
there's
peanut
no
butter
right
and
answer.
I don't
All
really eat
along.
peanut butter and jellies, but when I do, I put peanut butter on one side of the one piece of bread and jelly on the other piece of bread, and then I put them together.
What a fucking piece of shit.
What?
What a fucking piece of shit.
What?
Fuck with your sandwich like that, you fucking psychopath.
What do you mean? I feel like that's normal.
Because she spreads the peanut butter on her fucking bread. What
And
an
then
asshole.
I spread the peanut butter on the one piece of bread, and then I spread the jelly on the other piece of bread, and then I put them together.
Yeah. I bet
Yeah.
you cut the corners off too.
I don't.
Oh god, you are a fucking psychopath. You're a goddamn war crime waiting to happen. Jesus.
Put
God
both on
damn it.
both slices. I don't know. I feel like the way I do it is normal. I don't know.
I feel like if you did that, though, like if you did like, because there's people who will like, put like, oh, I'm gonna put peanut butter and jelly on half of this bread. I feel like if you did that, you would somehow put the peanut butter on the same half as the other side's peanut butter,
Yeah.
and you
Honestly.
would put it together, and then it would end up being as like, now I just have double the peanut butter and double the jelly on these sides of my mouth.
Put
My
both
mouth
on
is
both
full of either
slices.
the yeah, it's like my mouth is either full of the ooey gooey goodness or it's full of the icky sticky goody.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really eat peanut butter and jelly. I don't really like that kind of stuff. I ate it so much that I am averse to it now.
I'm gonna say you're a virgin to it now. I'm gonna
No.
say like that's not how that works.
That ain't how it works at all.
That's not how that works at all.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
No. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, I don't really eat it, but if I ever were to want to have one, that's how I would do it.
Okay. How do you cereal your milk?
You mean milk the cereal?
Robin, you can't milk cereal. Not an animal.
Cereal first, then milk.
Okay.
I'm not
I
that
say,
much of a
like-
psychopath.
Listen, people can milk almonds, but they can't milk cereal.
God.
Oh God, it has nothing to do with this, okay? If God had something to do with this would have been flooded over a long time ago.
God.
I ain't the most religious tool in the shed, but I'll tell you what.
Me either. Okay.
That's what you just did. You just did that. And I'll tell you what, that's the sound God made when he took one look back. He looked over his shoulder and went, oh. Oh.
And then he locked himself up to never return.
No, he's like that one awkward dude who's like he recognizes you in public, but he's like covering his face. He's like,
Oh yeah.
don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me.
I
You're
like that.
Mother! And he's like, fuck.
Fuck. Hi. Like,
Hi.
oh my
Like-
god.
Daddy, where you been? away from you, but not far enough.
So I guess to finish off, do you have any like Christmas plans or things for the holiday coming up?
I plan on driving a boat in the middle of the Kansas.
What?
I don't know. I was thinking of saying something, but then I realized, wait, no, if I say something really unhinged, that could possibly be taken as an actual threat. I don't want that.
No, not on my channel, please.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Hey, you. What's this option you have on one of your things, huh? What is it? What is it? A Dobby voice and ooh.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. You don't get to talk.
Are we
Are we continuing to get put on a list? Hey,
No.
Robin's already on a list.
What the hell? What does that mean? Can't
She's
spell,
on
but you know what I
Santa's-
mean.
She's on Santa's naughty list.
What the fuck?
Because Santa checked his list twice and he saw that you were a bit of a sinner.
I'm always a sinner. I'm going to hell and I've accepted it.
Oh no, God, the hell don't even want you, Jesus. Just be like, God damn, get that thing away from us. Get it away from us.
So I'm
She
immortal
puts her
then.
peanut-
Cool.
She puts her peanut butter and her jelly on weirdly.
Oh my God.
Get her away from us. Get her away. And she can't pronounce onomatopoeia correctly.
Yes, I can. Onomatopoeia. Bitch.
It's onomatopoeia.
Bitch.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You almost fell for that one too. You were like, wait, no, I did say it correctly. This
Yeah.
fucker. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my lord. Alright, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. So do you wanna shout yourself out on anything?
Yeah, sure, actually. Shit, it's your boy Skinny Penis. Sorry, I forgot for a second there. I had like a huge mind blank there. Is this what it's like to be you? Fuck.
Apparently so.
How do you remember to put underwear on in the morning?
I go to bed with it on.
Oh. Do you put your socks on your hands too? Don't
No.
answer that one. But if you want to find me, you could find me on YouTube. And you can find me on that as AshenedHeart, at AshenedHeart on YouTube. You can also find me on iTunes and on Spotify and on quite literally anything that has music. You can find my music on TikTok, Instagram, quite literally everything. But you can also find me on Twitch. I don't stream as much as I used to, but I probably should again.
Yeah, you should.
Like, hey, Robin, maybe we should do a spooky stream tomorrow or sometime soon.
We could. We do have a couple games that we could play.
Yes, we do.
Alright, yeah, so absolutely go give him a follow and check him out on all his platforms, of course. I believe that we're going to go ahead and raid out to Kiora because she is playing Lethal Company. Oh my. So we're going to raid out to
She's as bad as
Kiora.
jumping as you are?
Probably.
She might be.
Probably, honestly. So let's do this. Raid Kiora
When you
Storms.
think she's gonna kill her teammates like you killed me.
Okay, look.
Dare look me, alright? That leech thing that was on my head for a moment, and you beat the shit out of me. You beat me to death, woman.
It was so
damn it.
funny.
Oh, it was funny to you.
It
And then
was,
you
'cause it came
and our
off-
other buddy
I didn't
went and
realize that it was
melted.
off your head already, so I just bonk.
Is it dead? No.
Bonk.
Yeah, and then you and I don't remember who else was there, but you both got melted by the fucking slime. Because you're both just sitting there laughing at my death.
Definitely. Alright, guys. I have art commissions open at ko-fi.com/RobinK5. I've got a Discord, !Discord for the link. What else? I try to go live every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. I had to think about that for a second. So I should be back on Sunday. Although I might do one tomorrow. We'll see. But anyways, we are going to go give Kiora a raid. So have a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever time of day it is for you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Use Space Raid.
Bye-bye.
My armpit's itchy.